Oh, gates versus fortresses. Hmm. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that in relationships, oh, gates versus fort in relationships, we're often trying to figure out where do I end, where do you begin? How do we collaborate? Where do I get to say no? Where do I stretch? Where do I back up? And if, like me, you learned how to relate to other people based on what you saw your parents do, and maybe what you saw people do around you, or what you saw on media or social media, then I think that in order to express a limit or a boundary, I have to yell at you, I have to criticize you, you don't get to treat me this way, it's not okay, back the frick off. Or I'm going to just disappear. I'm going to block you. I'm going to say that you're the problem and leave. And what I notice is that personally, I would like peace on the planet. And when I am blocking, slamming doors, criticizing, shaming, I think I'm part of war on the planet. So how do I become peace on the planet and still feel safe and still support my sense of connection and safety to me? And what I do is when I get really, really upset, which I do, by the way, sometimes you really piss me off or upset me in some way. When I get really upset, I've been practicing how my ventral vagal, feeling my feet, looking around, some tapping, enough slowing down, enough pausing to be able to tell you I'm not safe to talk to right now, or I need a pause, or the voices in my head are louder than my ability to hear you. Come on, admit this. Sometimes you have voices screaming in your head, like one of the voices screams in my head when I'm really upset with you, is like, frick you, frick you, frick you, frick you, and it's screaming in my head, and I literally can't hear what you're saying because these voices are screaming in my head. So I've learned to say the voices in my head are louder than my ability to hear you. And then I take some time and I'll actually sometimes journal even what are the voices in my head? I hate you, frick you, it's over, how dare you? Like I write it out. I write out like what are the voices in my head saying? I'm scared, I think you'll never love me, I think you're going to leave me. Whatever they're saying, I write it out. And then I write the feelings. I just say anger, sadness, rage, confusion. Like, what are the feelings that go with these thoughts? And then I actually ask myself, when is the youngest I felt this way? Sometimes I need to go on a walk to really tune in to what is the youngest I had these thoughts and felt these feelings. And when I get there, I actually love that part of me. I say, when you were little, I was little and I couldn't defend you or protect you. But I grew up now. I'm on YouTube. I've got a life. I've got a temple. I can take care of you now in ways I couldn't when we were both little. And you don't have to trust me yet. It's my job to become trustworthy. And I do that by checking in with you. So take your time to trust me. Something calms down, something relaxes. And then I have the bandwidth back. My frontal cortex is available again. I'm no longer in my fight, flight, freeze, disassociation. My prefrontal cortex, where I can be discerning and analytical, and my ventral vagal nervous system, where I can be collaborative and visionary, suddenly they are engaged again. And then I can come back to the person, I can come back to you and say, and this is a magic phrase, caring about you, and this is where I try to put myself in your shoes, caring about you, I can imagine that you were scared or that you needed something from me or that you were usually anger's on top of fear, really. Even big puffy anger by big puffy people. At the bottom is fear. And I'm guessing that maybe that you were hurt or maybe you felt um, unsafe. And caring about you, I want to try to understand you. Am I understanding you? Am I getting close? And once the other person says, yes, you're understanding me, then I'll say, caring about you, I want to hold that tenderly. And caring about me, my request is, or another way to look at this is, or I'm realizing that I have a limit or a boundary here. And if for whatever reason you're not able to collaborate, if for whatever reason you're not able to, really meet my boundary or meet my request, you're not a bad person. The divine still loves you. And in my loving relationship with me, I may need to take a little space, at least for some period of time, or I may need to kind of refocus our relationship. And you get to love you and you get to speak on behalf of what you need. And I appreciate that. And in my loving relationship with me, I also need to speak on behalf of what I need. If I give up speaking on behalf of what I need or setting a limit around what's not right for me, I stop loving me. And then there's no one here, there's no one inside me to actually be in relationship with you. And I say that, dear hearts, because in order to survive my family, I gave up knowing and loving who I was on the inside to survive my family, to survive my culture. And as much as I adore you, love you, care about you, I cannot do that at this time in my life. So I support you to have the life that you need, the love that you need, the vision that you need. And ideally, we'll be able to create one together. And if we can't, I bless you and I release you. So, or release you for now. Maybe in the future we can rethink, co-create in some way. So this is the difference between a fortress. A fortress is blocking, shutting the door, get the frick out. I never want to speak to you again. You're not who I thought you were. You're not safe to me. Like it's really big and puffy. And when I have done this kind of soothing, loving work on the inside, I can actually have a gate, a sliding glass door. I can have a wall with a gate that says there's a way to reopen this later. There is a way to communicate through this. This does not need to be the end. And to me, that feels like peace on the planet. What do you think?